Hello, friends. Tennessee is one of the great states in the Union. I truly believe that. And it has been experiencing tremendous growth in its population over the last 15, 20 years. It has been on an upward trajectory for sure, and new construction and people moving to the state all over the place. And so, just wanted to talk a few minutes and kind of break down some of the cities. These are six cities that have a population of over 100,000, and kind of the demographics and how the growth rate through the census, and look at some statistics here and what makes some of these cities so good to live in. And so, first off, we're the 15th most populous state in the Union. So we're sitting at number 15. I think in 2000 we had 5.69 million people. In 2020 census we had 6.91, and currently we're sitting at about 7.5 million people in the state of Tennessee, and we're going to top 8 or 9 million come around the next census here in about 5 years. Now, Nashville, the great thing about Nashville is it's right in the middle of the state. It is the state capital, and because it is right in the middle of the state, it has major interstates that run through it. So you've got I-24, which basically runs from St. Louis to Nashville and then down to Chattanooga. And then you've got I-65, which comes out of Louisville and goes through Nashville, and then goes down on to Birmingham and on south. And then you've got I-40, which is the major east to west interstate that runs right through the middle of Nashville. Now, Nashville has experienced tremendous growth, and so these numbers are pretty interesting. So in the year 2000, Nashville itself had 545,000 people. Fast forward 20 years, 689,000 people. Fast forward another 5 years, and the census data for 2025 is estimated, of course, but 708,000 people. I mean, it's growing, it's booming, it's a great town. It's got so many things going for it. It's got professional sports franchises like the Nashville SC. It's got the Tennessee Titans. It's got the Nashville Predators, which I enjoy going to the hockey games. And so you've got those things going for it. You've got the home of country music. You've got the home of Christian music industry. And so some of the forefathers or the early entrants made Nashville their home, right? You had Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith and some of the early ones from the 1980s. And I think the growth of those industries has really made Nashville grow tremendously, because the country music industry it's people listen to country music, right? And people listen to Christian music. Those are kind of the two that have really upticked over the years. And so those being centered and rooted in Nashville, Nashville's been growing. Now, the downside to growth, obviously the traffic in Nashville is bad. There is no getting around it. It is not good. It is one of the most congested traffic cities now in North America. I believe it. It's anytime you go down there, it's kind of stop and go traffic. It bottlenecks where all those interstates that I mentioned come together. So I-24, I-65, and then I-40, where all of those converge. And sometimes you got to switch over to a couple of lanes and know kind of which lane you need to be in to get over to, say, if you want to go 40 eastbound towards Knoxville, you need to kind of know what you're doing, because it can definitely be a bottleneck and be a little bit of a challenge. My wife and I, we vacationed in the summer in California. We took a train trip. It was a bucket list thing. We went all the way out there. And my wife usually drives when we go places. She likes to be in control, so I let her drive. And she drove around LA and San Francisco, and she's like, wow, this traffic, yeah, it's a lot, but I would much prefer to drive in this city than in Nashville. So Nashville does have the downside of bad traffic. Now, Nashville has a lot of things going for it. It's a great city. Don't let that deter you. 708,000 people. Now, the next city on this list is a little bit of an anomaly, because it's actually experiencing a little bit of decline in population, and that is Memphis, Tennessee. So it lost its crown in 2017 to Nashville. Nashville overtook it in population. And I think Memphis is experiencing what a lot of cities in North America experienced in the 1960s and 1970s, where people were leaving the city to move out to the suburbs. And I think you're seeing that with Memphis some. I think you're seeing cities like Collierville and Jackson, for example, and the outskirts of Memphis really grow. And you're seeing people leave Memphis. And primarily it is because they have a high crime rate. Memphis definitely a little bit more on the dangerous side in terms of crime. So their population has been declining. So in 2000, right at the turn of the century, that census put them at 650,000 people. Then in 2020, right before COVID, 633,000. And then in 2025, it currently sits at 606. So it's the only city on this list that has seen decline. But I believe Memphis is a great city, man. It's right there on the west side of the state, right along the Mississippi River. Just being a river town, I love river towns. I currently live in a river town. I love going down to the river, watching the barges and the tugboats just do their thing. It's incredible. And so I love living in a river town, and Memphis is a river town with the Mississippi going through it. It's got Beale Street. It's home of the Blues. It's got Memphis-style barbecue. It's got professional sports franchise and the Memphis Grizzlies. And so Memphis is a great town, and I hope that it rebounds and hope they can get their crime situation figured out, because it truly is a great city, and I feel like its future is pretty bright. So Memphis, Tennessee. Now we get into our mid-sized cities. I love our mid-sized cities in Tennessee. To me, mid-sized cities are kind of my vibe. I don't like the big sprawling metropolises of like Nashville and Memphis as much as I do these smaller cities. They feel a little more intimate. It's more my vibe. I feel like you can get around a little bit easier in these cities. And so the first one on the list is Knoxville, Tennessee. And it has 200,000 people currently estimated. And in 2000, it had 173. In 2020, 190. So it's also in growth mode. Some of the things I've read as a real estate agent is that Knoxville in 2026 is really expected to be booming. And a lot of people want to check out Knoxville. And Knoxville also gets a little bit of a bottleneck in traffic. You've got I-40 and I-75 that kind of meet there. And you can definitely get some bottlenecks. And yeah, it gets a little busy for sure. Knoxville's got a great downtown. It's home of the University of Tennessee and the Tennessee Volunteers. You can get around Knoxville pretty easily. It's got a lot of great things going for it. And so Knoxville comes in at 200,000. Now the next city on this list, number 4 on the list of cities with 100,000, is Chattanooga. Chattanooga is my favorite city in the state of Tennessee. Hands down, bar none. I love Chattanooga. It's got a great vibe. It's called the Scenic City. So it's got Lookout Mountain and it's got Signal Mountain kind of in the background of the city. And it's got just so much to do there. And there's a lot of Civil War history, which I always enjoy. And so in Chattanooga, what you've got is you've got Lookout Mountain, which has Point Park, which has the Civil War history. You've got Incline Railway. You've got Ruby Falls. You've got Rock City on the kind of the backside of the mountain. Actually, that gets into Georgia right there, kind of. But right there south on the Georgia-Tennessee line, you'll find Chattanooga. And then you've got the Tennessee River that runs through it. And you got Moccasin Bend. And the downtown area is great. Man, they got the Chattanooga Lookouts for minor league baseball. They got the Tennessee Aquarium. They got the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Architecture's great. Man, Chattanooga is just one of my favorite cities. If you're thinking about Tennessee and you've not checked out Chattanooga, definitely it's worth a day trip down there to go check out all the stuff. And really probably a couple of days if you want to check out all of it. Chattanooga, currently sitting at 193,000, so about 7,000 behind Knoxville. But with what I'm reading, Knoxville is probably going to stay in that 3 position. Chattanooga, number 4. Now, this next city is a city I know a lot about. It's the city I currently live in. It's Clarksville, Tennessee. I love Clarksville. It's very diverse, and so it does have a lot of diversity, which I enjoy. And so you basically have, as far as the demographics, 53% white, 23% black. That is right on par with Nashville. Nashville's 53% white, 24% black. right on par with Chattanooga, 54% white, 28% black. So it's right there, very diverse city. We have Fort Campbell. So Fort Campbell's the military base. It's one of the largest military bases in the country. And our city definitely is dominated by military personnel. So like 20% of the population is active duty military. And I can tell you my neighborhood, which is about 20 minutes from the base, right across the street, active military. The two houses to the currently to my left of me, active duty personnel, both of them. One is a chaplain in the military. The guy in front of me is a engineer. But I love the military personnel. Thank you for your service. But Clarksville has so many people that are military or military affiliated. And a lot of people, what they do is they move to Clarksville because they have a stint at Fort Campbell. They buy a house here, and then when they PCS and go to another place, they decide that they want to come back and live here. So I met a neighbor, and that is exactly what her and her husband are doing. He's active military. They've got one more stint somewhere else, but they bought their house here, and this is where they're going to retire. And so Clarksville, we're about 45 minutes from Nashville. So it's a lot cheaper to live here in Clarksville than in Nashville proper. I have a friend that moved into my actual neighborhood and caught him out one day, and I was like, "Hey man, why did you move to Clarksville? Like, I don't think you have any family here or any affiliation with the town. What brought you to Clarksville?" And he said, "Honestly, Kurt, it was $100,000 cheaper to buy a house here in Clarksville than where I was looking in like Gallatin and in Nashville area. And so I just decided to come out a little bit further and wanted to live in a place that's a little bit cheaper to live. And we're seeing a lot of that. So currently Clarksville has 190,000 people. We're only 3,000, 4,000 behind Chattanooga. At our current growth rate, I really believe we'll probably surpass Chattanooga as the number 4 largest city in Tennessee. I mean, there's new houses and new construction going up everywhere in town. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, sometimes I'll leave, go out about, come back, and there's a whole new house framed up in my neighborhood that I hadn't seen before. That happens a lot. And so there are a lot of new builds here. And Clarksville doesn't really have a lot to do, I'll be honest, but Nashville's so close, it doesn't really matter. If you want to go do something, you just drive to Nashville. You can be there in less than an hour, go do your thing in Nashville and drive back. So Clarksville, Tennessee, to the north of Nashville. And really with Nashville, what you're seeing that expand out. And as it expands out, your towns like Clarksville are growing. And this next town on the list is one that is also growing to the south of Nashville, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So Murfreesboro, this is interesting. This town has seen tremendous growth. I mean, absolutely just killing it. So in the year 2000, they didn't even have 70,000 residents there. They had 68,816 during the 2000 census. They're currently sitting at 172,000 people. I mean, they have more than doubled in size, and that trend is going to continue. So Murfreesboro, Tennessee, man, they are doing some things right. Obviously you have to be pro-growth. You really have to be growth-minded to be able to grow. But so much of this just stems from what is happening in Nashville and people looking for a little bit cheaper place to live and maybe not in the city proper and being kind of more out in the suburbs. Murfreesboro is about 35 minutes south of Nashville. Now, with these growth comes great opportunities, right? And I'm excited about the growth. I'm excited about Tennessee's future. I'm excited about all the people that are moving into our state because it makes us more diverse, and I think it makes us a stronger state. Now, a lot of people in Tennessee will disagree with me and probably argue on that point and say, hey, go somewhere else, stay somewhere else. We like it the way it used to be. But things are changing. And I love the growth. I love the things that are happening in Tennessee. And listen, my wife and I are realtors. If God should direct your paths here, man, I would be glad to help you. I really, really pray that God blesses your journey. And if he directs your paths here, hey, we should connect and we should talk because I can help you with that transition to Tennessee. God bless. Have a great day.